What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got a breakdown for the weekly reset this Tuesday, July 16th, and of course, this is going to be one of the busier weeks that we've had since the launch of the final shape, as we will see the start of Act 2 of Echoes. So, in terms of the episode content, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff to do, some new rewards and activities. We'll speak about all of that stuff. One of the rewards, of course, is the Rocket Pistol Sidearm, which definitely is one that players are looking forward to most. So we'll round up some of the stuff for Act 2, but additionally, it's quite a busy week outside of that. We've got a whole bunch of new seasonal challenges. We'll see the return of Trials now that Iron Banner is concluded as well. Plus we've got some pretty juicy farmable exotics from the raids and dungeons this week. And we'll round up any updates from Bungie, featured rewards, activities, and all that good stuff in the videos. So it's going to be a lively week, guys. As always, if you find this one useful, get subscribed to the channel and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. But without further delay, let's get into it. And initially, we will see the launch of Act 2 of Episode 1. So there's going to be a bunch of new stuff added into the game. Firstly, we will start to see story quest steps once again, like we saw in the first 3 weeks of Act 1. And I believe once again we will get 3 weeks of story now that Act 2 drops. There'll be some NES research quests and things like that as well. So that'll be the first thing to go after, and it may even be sort of the introduction to some of the activity content that's being added. And of course, Bungie have announced that they're adding Echoes Battlegrounds, which is a sort of alternative episode activity, I guess. And then probably most interesting to a lot of players, but there are some new weapons being added into the pool as well. So we get things like the Aberrant Action, which is the Rocket Pistol Sidearm. That's a solar variant, so definitely that'll be the weapon that most players are going after, but also the Corrasion Pulse Rifle and the Perfect Paradox will be added. Plus there may be some other elements which haven't been announced yet, so it's going to be interesting to jump in and see exactly what Act 2 will be about. It is at the very least a small infusion of content, I guess, that'll keep us busy for another couple of weeks or so. So at the very least it is stuff to do, which is nice. And then we get new seasonal or episode challenges, I suppose, and we've got Discoveries 1 to complete Act 2, Part 1 of A Rising Chorus, so that'll be the weekly story steps. Then there is Research and Development to complete Specimen ID NES-04. A lot of players have already got access to that, so hopefully that will auto-complete. But if not, it can be picked up in the research area of Failsafe menu. And then there is Learning Computer 2 to reset the reputation rank with Failsafe in the helm. Assimilated Rock and Stone to mine and acquire Azure and Golden Radiolite. I think those are alternate materials that are added for Act 2. But there's also Failsafe Cracker to open chests after completing episode Echoes Battleground activities, and Auto Cannon Analyst to defeat combatants in episode Echoes Battlegrounds while using sidearms, and we get bonus progress for using seasonal weapons, so get your Rocket Pistol Sidearms out for that one, I guess. And we also have Echoing Firepower to defeat combatants with pulse rifles, and we get bonus progress using seasonal weapons there as well. And finally, there is Printed Arsenal to focus seasonal weapons with Failsafe. Round and round we go to generate Orbs of Power in Vanguard, Gambit, or Crucible playlists. And finally, Trial by Firing Squad to win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris, and that will actually award a Trials weapon. So keep that one in mind if you want an additional Trials drop. And on the subject of Trials, with it returning this weekend, there will also be bonus Trials ranks. So if you want to pick up Trials rewards in general, it is going to be a good week to play. And otherwise in the Crucible, Team Scorched and Survival will be featured as well. As well as the Act 2 stuff launching though, of course all of the challenges for the Pale Heart will reset, so pinnacle things from the co-op missions, the rewards for Excision, the Grandmaster variant, the normal variant, and of course Salvation's Edge variants. Outside of that, players are wondering whether Micah 10 might get a new quest or something like that, as there's been one in the menu that says she's waiting for more information about it, so we'll simply have to wait and see. Possibly something showing up considering Act 2 is launching. But then back to playlist stuff, and for the Vanguard, the Nightfall strike this week will be the Fallen Saber. Of course, we got the Grandmaster variant of that available as well. And apparently the featured weapon will be the Slammer. We're starting to get a bit of a rotation emerge, so if you still need to pick up the Slammer, it'll be a good week to dive in and try and get that one. And then for the featured activities this week in terms of raids and dungeons, firstly, we're going to see Root of Nightmares featured, where we can pick up the Conditional Finality, so that will be farmable this week, which is certainly nice. And then in the Legends tab, additionally, we've got Ghosts of the Deep featured this week as well, which is actually one which hasn't been featured all that much. So if you want to pick up any of the rewards or completely farm for them, including the Navigator, this is the first week in quite some time where we're able to do it. So it's going to be a useful one if you're after any of those rewards, keep it in mind. And additionally in the Legends tab, the featured exotic mission this week will be Operation Seraph Shield, where of course we can get the Revision 0, so another good one to go after if you haven't picked it up previously. But now on to Eternity, and for Dares of Eternity, we'll see additional drops from the Rotation 2 loot pool, which includes the Scatterhorn and Perfectus armor sets, as well as a bunch of weapons from Season of the Chosen and Worthy as additional drops. Then for featured Lost Sectors this week, for Tuesday's reset, we'll see the Blooming Deep on the Pale Heart, and that can drop the combined action, Last Foray, Parabellum, and Old Sterling, as well as exotic engrams on solo completions as a random drop. Then July 17th will be the Forgotten Deep in the Pale Heart, which can drop the Geodetic HSM, Glissando 47, Heliocentric, and Mikado 45. It then moves over to Perdition on Europa though, which can drop the Crux Termination, Nox Perennial, PSI Hematic, and the Rossarago. And then on July 19th, the weapon pool will just cycle through, but Bunker E15 will be featured for the 19th on Europa, then we'll get Concealed Void on Europa for July 20th, before moving over to Nessus with the Conflux on July 21st, and finally for July 22nd, it'll be Thrillerdrome on Neomuna. So good luck if you're hunting any rewards from any of those, but very finally, we've got the Ascendant Challenge, and this week it'll be Aura Borea, which is the first one in the rotation, which we can find via Aphelion's Rest in the Strength. So if you want gameplay showing the location or collectibles for that one, we'll run some at the end of the video. But otherwise guys, that's what we have to round up for the weekly reset. So it's going to be one of the busier weeks. There's some good rewards available this week. Certainly, I'm going to be going after a good rocket pistol sidearm early on, so let us know what you're looking for with the reset. And otherwise, I'll keep you posted with additional updates, vendor things and stuff like that as we get to the reset. So I hope you guys have found the video useful. If you have, a rating below very much helps us out on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed, and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, cheers for tuning in, and whatever you get up to, I hope you guys have an awesome day.